Good afternoon, everyone. Let's head over into Collectively Rewilding. All right. Here we are in Collectively Rewilding, and lots of great stuff happening. Today, of course, we are talking about how to get started into your community's activities. Perhaps you want an activity that you want to get started. Perhaps like Tammy, there are problem things on your property that you're hoping maybe you could get a little city or county help for. Maybe you just want to get to know some people in your neighborhood, whatever the case may be. And oh, I forgot to take care of the waiting room. So let's go do that really quickly and get right back into where we were. All right. And so now that Tammy is here, are you ready to start diving into working on your salt cedars, Miss Tammy?
I'm ready, whatever you're ready for, Miss
All right.
Lady.
Well, that had been my intention if you were able to make it, right? We knew today was going to be a little bit tight. So let's head right into our search. In fact, let's use Gemini for this.
It's not only my salt cedars, I found out about those plants that I posted about.
The
Uh,
purslane.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
no, the ones on the hill.
Oh,
Uh,
you have more than just salt cedars. You have some other things as
yeah,
well.
so they're
Mm-hmm.
not considered invasive. It's a Native American plant that grows here in the desert, like everywhere. And I thought it was a sage bush. So when I started watching these videos, like specifically kind of like doing the foraging kind of thing, where like using like the medicinal stuff, and when I started learning about it, I saw this photo and I was like, oh my goodness, or I saw a video actually. I was like, oh my goodness, that is super cool. But the thing is, they love to spread, like just like the salt cedars do, and they're not invasive. So like they just grow, But
They're
I
probably native then, if they're not
they are
invasive.
native. They are native. But the thing is, I have so many of them, Sabrina, and
Okay, so hold on. You're throwing a whole lot at me. Let's get our search set up with Gemini, all right?
yeah.
So we have a member in CR who has some problem plants on her property. Her zip code is,
It's 92311.
all right. Speaking of which, I'm going to be sending you, I was wanting this copy from the magazine stand so bad. I thought they put out a different one than they send because I have the subscription at home and they do sometimes, but this month not so much. So this is like the one that I got at the store, I guess. But I'm going to send you the other one of these because it's got quite a bit about things that you can do with like preserving food. So deep pantry, deep savings,
Oh, way
healthy whole
cool.
wheat sourdough.
Yeah, like I've been getting like emails for sourdough for some reason. I don't know if that's a sign or something like that, but
Perhaps, eh?
something
So
about
I'm going to send that to
sourdough.
you, okay? But her zip code is 92311. And here are the problem plants. Okay, now we know it's salt cedar, tamarisk. How do you spell tamarisk? Salt
Yeah, I'm like
cedar.
freaking out. Like with all these floods going on,
Mm,
it's pretty scary, you guys. Just seeing what I saw last week was pretty freaking scary. And I
yeah, I'm so sorry for your neighbor's family.
Yeah, well, like I don't even know where they live, but they were just going around the bend, you know, and I don't know why they went through that, but it could have just started the mudslide, when that water goes, when you have mud that's been sitting for a long time and it's like clay, it just,
So it's heavy.
it's heavy and it
Ugh,
just flows, so
yeah.
that's a huge problem. So like I'm really trying to figure out like sandbags, how can I protect my home and from all this mud that's going to come down. I'm not saying it's going to come down, but I need to prepare myself for that. That's scary because I'm
All
on a
right,
hill.
so let's get your plants on here first. Salt cedar, as also tamarisk, which are invasive, and was it more than one other one, or
if you go on to your platform,
mm-hmm.
Like these new names, I'm just having a hard time
I hear
pronouncing
that,
them.
right?
Okay, so I posted that, and I think it's survival. Okay.
Did you not did you not notify?
Yeah, I put in the survival one because that's kind of like where basically they are medicinal use. They are, valuable to me, but I I'll keep going
Is
down.
it this buffalo
No.
gourd? No. Okay.
No. Nope, not that one. It's that one right there.
Yucca?
No, not Yucca, but the other one. Scroll down. I put a Wikipedia page on there.
Oh,
That one right
creosote.
there.
Creosote. Mm-hmm. Is
Yeah.
that what you're talking about? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just copy it here because I don't exactly know how to spell it. Wrong Gemini. Okay.
Like, I don't want to like take them out, Sabrina, but because you're really useful, but when it
So
comes,
what do you want to do with them?
I need to know, like, they're native, right? So can I remove them?
You want to know if there's a restriction against removing
Yeah,
them?
like I need
Okay.
to know that, and like, is it my responsibility? Like,
Well, that one Gemini won't totally be able to help with, right? Because we don't have an assessment of your property.
yeah, that's the thing. I need to get a land survey, but I just want to know, like, if I do take them out, Sabrina, like, how much of an impact is that gonna take on my hill?
Okay, so okay, let's do something.
Maybe I was thinking, like, doing, like, I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, like terrace, that terrace, like, thing where, like, it has, like, levels, I'm just
Hold
trying
on, let me think, because I'm trying to give you I'm trying to contain
yeah.
what you've already given me now and at other times into a list of questions for Gemini. So you got to give me a second to think, okay?
Sorry, I just had a
No,
lot
please don't
in
be
my brain.
sorry, right? I want all the information, but I can only intake and do so much. Okay. Okay. We have a member in CR who has some problem plants on her property. Her zip code is, and here are the problem plants: Salt Cedar / Tamarisk, which are invasive, and creosote, which is native but still a problem. She wants to know several things. 1, how should both of these be removed off of the hill? 2, is she allowed to remove the native plant creosote? 3, are there any programs, initiatives, grants, or other opportunities in her zip code that can help with these problem plants? 4, if she removes them, what will happen to the hill that they are living on? Okay, so do you want anything else in here at this moment?
Not right now. I just, I want to save them. I'm like kind of like you, like they're pretty cool,
So you want me to ask, can she transplant them somewhere else on her property?
Yeah, like or
Creosote.
like
Not the
somewhere.
tamarisk, but the creosote.
Yeah, because that's a really good scrubbing, and it's a bug repellent. So I do get a lot of bugs. So it's pretty cool when you get those mosquitoes and all that kind of stuff. So.
Okay, and so then also do this. All right, so I have added, if she can remove the creosote, can she transplant the creosote onto another part of her property? And if so, how should she go about doing that? All right, we ready?
Almost. So
Okay.
if I were to save these things, how would I be able to add nutrition so they don't get, because they're
Well, that's what I said. How should she go about transplanting?
Okay, cool. All right. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on. Sorry.
Nope, you're great. Ready? Here we go. You threw a lot at him, so he's probably going to, her or they. So they're probably going to think for a little while. Jim and I are twins, after all. Yes? Okay. Of course, here is a detailed breakdown of the information for your CR member in that zip code regarding her salt cedar, tamarisk, and creosote plants. Disclaimer, the information is for educational purposes. For activities involving herbicides, heavy machinery, or navigating local regulations, she should consult with licensed professionals and local authorities. 1, how to remove salt cedar and creosote from a hill. And so they've given you one method for the smaller plants, cut stump herbicide treatment. If you cut it off, it'd still grow back, right? Just like a lot of
they have
considered
really
weeds.
big roots, so they just
So you want to get some sort of herbicide treatment, right? We did go ahead and do that for the aspen trees as well. They're putting up a little forest every week in the front lawn, like they have to go. So we went ahead and got an herbicide specifically for aspen trees.
With those herbicides, I can't grow anything, right?
Not right there, not for a little while. Yeah. But that's on a hill on the side area of your property, right? Yeah. So the first thing to do is to deal with the problematic plant. And then you can do the research on how long you should wait. And you could put things out there like once it's dead and, it's been a little bit of time and you're not like right up on that stump where you put the herbicide, you can plant wildflowers and things on the hill around it, right?
Yeah, it's just it's right where the main entrance to my driveway. So I want to have a front yard, instead of these big ugly trees.
I want my whole property to be dead right now. I want, right? But we have to work with what reality is.
Yeah.
Take time, right? Time is an essential ingredient, but that's okay because look how much area you have already around the rest of your yard to work on, right? So that's where you're dealing with the tamarisk. And then with your creosote, it doesn't resprout as aggressively, so you can pretty much just pull it out if you weren't trying to save it, right? But you are. So you want to work and get that root crown just like you dealt with your aloe vera and things. You got to be careful with that root ball, right? You may need a permit to remove the creosote. So we'll have to definitely look into who to contact in your area about that.
Good to know, because it is a good source of survival. But when the storm comes, it's just scary kind of thing. I just want to make sure that I follow my codes, and I have to reach out to my county and stuff like that.
Well, the creosote is a good thing. The tamarisk isn't, right? So you want to get rid of the salt cedar. The the tamarisk and the roots of the salt cedar as well are probably helping to hold that hill together right now.
Yes, they are. So they literally kind of like work together. They love water. So I'm stuck here in a hill where like I have beautiful, whether it's a salt cedar or not, they're still beautiful
Yeah.
plants, and I don't want to hurt them or damage them. You know, I just want to protect my
Yeah, but
house
they're really bad plants
for
where they're
sure.
not supposed to
Yeah.
be, right? So I hear all of that, and it hurts my heart to like cut down these aspen. It broke my heart. I'm not exaggerating. I was devastated. My oldest daughter was devastated. My husband was devastated. Our youngest daughter didn't really care that much, but it's hard to get rid of some problem plants because they are beautiful, but it's invasive, right? It's really, really invasive, and it's really, really bad. All right, so before removing any creosote, you need to contact, and it's already got it here for you, the San Bernardino County Planning Department, okay? And then, are there programs or assistance available? The Natural Resources Conservation Service. Okay, they may help you with it. Yeah, nice. This USDA agency offers technical and sometimes financial assistance to private landowners for managing natural resources, which includes controlling invasive species like tamarisk. She should contact the local NRCS office that serves San Bernardino County to inquire about programs like the Environmental Quality Incentives Program, or EQIP. All right. And I'll print this off, or I'll copy paste this all for you into Collectively Rewilding. The Mojave Desert Resource Conservation District. Oh my gosh, let's try that again. Mojave Desert Resource Conservation District, or RCD. Local RCDs are excellent resources. They may have programs, workshops, or connections to funding sources for habitat restoration and invasive species control. And the California Invasive Plant Council, or Cal IPC, while they don't typically provide direct funding to individual homeowners, they are a hub of information and can point to regional partnerships or efforts to control tamarisk. What will happen to the hill after removal? The primary risk is soil erosion. Both tamarisk and creosote have extensive root systems that anchor the soil on the hillside. Immediate effect: removing the plants and their roots will loosen the soil, making it highly vulnerable to being washed away by rain or blown away by wind. This can lead to the formation of gullies and destabilize the entire slope. Critical action: you must have a revegetation plan in place before you start removing the plants. After removing the problem plants, the bare soil should immediately be replanted with desirable, native, erosion-controlling plants, covering the area with jute netting or an erosion control blanket can provide temporary stability while the new plants establish. All right.
Oh my goodness. That's like a mouthful for sure. But I have not contacted any of them. Thank you, Sabrina. I do appreciate that. I did reach out to the California National Native Plant Society. Is that what it is? And due to my district area, they were unable to help me. So I kind of
But this is a different entity, right? So
yeah.
you're
So
not.
these are yeah. So these ones I have not contacted. So I'm looking forward to reaching out. Do you recommend like putting a specific kind of like letter? How would I go
Let's
about?
walk through all of that after we finish with our answer.
Okay.
Right?
I'm
Okay.
so far ahead. Sorry, you guys.
Well, you are, and that's good in its way, but you do have to finish the steps, right? So like you
Yeah,
keep
sure.
thinking of your next steps and keeping that information in your head. But if it keeps you from accomplishing what needs to be in the now, then I wouldn't, right? But if it
I
doesn't keep
just
you from
it just
accomplishing in
gets
the now,
bottled. It just gets bottled up in my head. Like I know kind of what I need to do a little bit, but like reaching out to different organizations and like what you're doing right now. Sometimes I just don't have patience, and I just want to do it in the now. And I'm like,
yeah, right?
slow
Like
down,
that's
Tammy.
like nature is a good lesson for all of
Yeah.
us in one way or another. I'm a relatively impatient person as well, so nature for us is teaching us patience. Everything in its time, everything in its season, right? So, can you transplant that creosote? Okay, it is possible, but very difficult and often unsuccessful. So, in all reality, if you want to keep the creosote, you should probably leave it alone.
Do they seed, Sabrina?
no,
That's another question for another class. But I was just
no. Let me get all of this answer here. Okay. we'll copy all of that, and I'll just take out your zip code. See, it's saying if you wanted to get rid of that unwanted one and then get a new one, right? So that's more realistic, they're saying. Okay. And so for this class, I have to think about it, right? All these new changes for all of us. Throw this over here. All right. So we've got that there for you. Now, I can't remember. What was your next question?
So when I'm trying to apply for these type of assistance, so
Hey, you wanted to create a letter.
like create like, okay, so this is that species, this is this species, and this is what happens when they come together, and we have these type of problems that have been coming an issue in my home, you know. So I need to know, like, okay, this plant is obviously invasive, one is, and one is native, and I need to know, like, I don't want to like write exactly what ChatGPT or Perplexity does or whatever. I want to kind of put in my own words, but then still give, you know, factual facts, you know, and with my photos, and you know, my husband maybe doing a video, you know, illustrating the the problem, you know.
I would either call or email as a
Okay.
beginning outreach, and you want to keep it concise.
Gotcha.
Oh. So you want to email the Natural Resources Conservation Service. Is that what you're saying?
When I do an email, I kind of like do it generalized for specifically just what I need to happen, you know. So when you're saying that, I would adjust it to who I'm directing it to. So the letter would just basically what my problem is and what how I need assistance to make it where, you know, I can get assistance for. How can I explain it? When I do my thing, it's not like I can explain it correctly. I just kind of like do it, you know. I'm not used
to work on it here, or would you rather just do that on your own moment?
Like, what would you suggest when writing a letter? What were some of the key points that I need to bring up with these type of
You need to bring up the fact that the tamarisk is a problem, and that do you want to keep the creosote, or are you going to want to get rid of it where it's at?
Well, like, I don't want to, like, you know, they're cool.
Got to make a decision, right? Like that's
well, at least I want like a couple, you know.
What?
At least want a couple on the hill, you know. At least give the, you know, still have nature there and not like take all of it down, you know.
Well, you can't. That's what Gemini was telling you, right?
Yeah.
Now, just for information, they're not guaranteeing their results, but it's relatively accurate information already. I can verify it pretty well, right? Okay, so you're gonna have to do more than just leave a couple of trees. So how many salt cedars do you think there are? Guesstimate.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so you're talking about
5, 25?
No. Like one on the right side. Okay, like when you come in, and then I have more on the opposite side of my hill. So I'm trying to get my husband out there to take a video and literally say, okay, this is how many I have. This is what I have, and how can we solve this problem, because it's coming a problem on my property, you know, that type of thing. So I nearly get my husband out there, and I don't know, Sabrina, the amount, but I would say the salt cedars, like if they branch out, like if they go, probably 5 or 6, you know, on the side, you know, but
and only one on the other side.
Yeah, a
so
huge
you have
one.
Somewhere between 7 and 10 salt cedars.
Yeah, I would have to say that. And then I do have some in the backyard that are not on my property. Then I have so many trees, you guys, that are on their last limb. I don't know how they're surviving, but they're surviving. But I want to make sure that like they don't die, and you know, the erosion, that's my problem.
Right.
Yeah. On how to getting grant like opportunities or assistance on to make sure that I don't go down with the hill, you know?
Well, what Gemini recommended is immediately replanting that hill, right? Like immediately refilling it with plants, or you probably aren't ready to do it.
Yeah, like right now, I can't say I'm not ready at all, but I need a
But
land
that's why you would
survey.
reach out to the Natural Resources Conservation Service.
Okay.
The other place that they recommended, as well as having the third as a resource hub, right?
Yeah,
Like
I need to get a
information.
land survey, a land
But
surveyor.
you have to focus. See, when you focus on so many things, how you're never getting done with anything, right?
Yeah.
Like, because we've had this same basic conversation a multitude of times, and now we're trying to focus it in and dial it down. But you're over here, and you're over
Will
here,
they
and over
work with the
here.
county with this specific thing, a land survey? I don't know where my property ends or goes, so I
But
need
that's
to
one of the things
do
that
that.
you would want to tell them about. So
Yeah.
they're ready to deal with invasive plants, period. So they
Okay.
may
Cool.
be able to help you whether or not it's on your property. It may be even
Yeah.
more easily helped if it's on the city's or county's property, right? Are you in the city proper, or are you just
Well,
in county?
here's the thing. I was trying to get some salt cedars removed from, obviously when I was having issues with my internet, they couldn't mess with that salt cedar because it was like registered on the county or something. I don't know. I gotta
Okay,
look
so that's
into that.
so again, right? We're trying to dial it in. We're trying to get to an answer. We're not just, you know, around. We're trying to dial it in. So you know that some of those trees are not on your property, they're on the county's property.
Well, yeah, they could be
Okay.
because like 4 feet, you have to have that fire, uh, 4 feet out from your property. You have to have emergency entrance type of thing. So I don't know if that's county, because I'm in a unincorporated area. So that's
An
why when I was confused.
unincorporated area.
Unincorporated.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I don't live in a city. I don't live in a county. I live in an unincorporated area where you
But
can have.
that's why you want to reach out to these folks, right? Like it doesn't do any good to keep kind of restating the problem.
Yeah.
That's one of the things you want to talk to them about.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I got to put a letter together because, I don't have time sometimes to get on the
So
phone.
one, right? Okay. One, your property and the surrounding property have extensive Salt Cedars tamarisk. Okay. Two, you're not sure what portion is your responsibility.
And another thing is like when it rains, like we don't have sewage, like how like in the side of the street you guys have that sewer thing, whatever you want to call it. Sorry, I can't pronounce it. But yeah, so when it goes, the water just goes. So there's nowhere the water can go. It just either goes in piles or
Okay, so there's sewage and then there's a sewer system. So a sewer system takes the water and channels it. A sewage system takes the wastewater and channels it. Okay.
the
So
side of the street one.
yes, the
That
sewer
that
system.
one. That's what I'm
Mhm.
talking about. We don't have that. So when it rains, it just pours down floods. There's nowhere that water can go but downstream.
Well, there are actually some things you can do on your property to help harvest some of that water. And yes, to help be prepared for that.
For
But
sure.
one problem at a time, or you're never going to get any of them solved, right? You're not sure what portion is your responsibility, what portion belongs to neighbors, and what portion belongs to the county, comma, as you are in an unincorporated area. Does that sum that part up pretty well? Oop.
Yes, it does. Yeah. I just
Mm,
gotta like put my feet in and just like,
and that's your, okay,
write
yeah.
it.
Okay, so now, um, there are native, oh crud, that's not what I want. Bushes intermixed with the salt cedar. And between the two plants, they are holding the hill together. They are maintaining the hill, keeping it eroding or washing away. Hmm. 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 Concern is that when the salt cedars are removed, the creosote may be harmed, and one way or another, there has to be new plant life to maintain the structure of the hill, the integrity. Okay, so your property and the surrounding property have extensive salt cedars, tamarisk. You're not sure what portion is your responsibility, what portion belongs to neighbors, and what portion belongs to the county, as you are in an unincorporated area. There are native creosote bushes intermixed with the salt cedar, and between the two plants, they are maintaining the hill, keeping it from eroding or washing away. The concern is that when the salt cedars are removed, the creosote may be harmed, and one way or another, there has to be new plant life to maintain the integrity of the hill. And then that's when you would start saying, okay, so are there resources out there that can help with the issues you are facing, right? Does that sum up the basic problem here pretty well for you?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. Like, I just like to put in my words like you're doing right now. Like,
Oh, yes, absolutely. I
yeah.
don't need you to copy paste this or
Oh,
anything.
no, this is
You,
actually good. Actually, like, just saying, like, direct, and this is what I need, and how can I, fix the situation. You did it perfect. Yeah, that's what I
okay.
would have done. Yeah.
Well, you feel free to rephrase it any amount that you need to. All right. I'm going to throw it onto your post.
Cool beans. No, it's really good actually. Like, I'm not a really good letter writer. And what you're
Well,
gonna
I cannot, with all the success that you've had, Tammie, I don't think that you can really actually say that. I would have to say that I think that you don't give yourself nearly enough credit as
Yeah.
is
It
usual
just
for you.
I just
Okay.
kinda show photos, and, like, if it whether it be a video or a photo, and, uh, just kinda wing it most of the time. There's not really a wrong way or right way, but, I just try the best I can, and, sometimes I do fail, and it sucks
That's
because I
the
wish
only way
it
you can
worked.
succeed is
Yeah,
to
for sure.
learn. And part of learning and succeeding is screwing up, making mistakes,
Yeah.
failing occasionally. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so let's do one last thing. Natural, let's go just NRCS, and it's 92311. Did I get
Yes.
it? Yeah? Okay.
Yes.
NRCS 92311. And we're just going to hit enter. Okay, Gemini, you're being a little bit more specific than I want. Okay. Here, let's just go here, and then there's going to be a way. State offices, getting assistance. let's just do find your local service center. I knew it would be here. Okay, so we want California, search. Oops. Okay, and then we're going all the way down. Oh, and it took it away. There you are. Search. And here we are, okay? Oh. This is your list here. So you have the Natural Resources Conservation Service that is nearest you, probably, in Redlands, California, all right? And it's going to allow me to share this search as it is.
I'm just gonna reach out to all of them. You know me, in the email
I
feed, and be
see.
like, like if they can help me, some other person on the other side may. It's always good to,
Absolutely.
yeah.
No, that's very, very real.
All right, you guys, I'm gonna have $1 million house, or maybe like a $2 million or $3 million house because of Sabrina Geisler, you guys.
Oh, no. You put in the legwork, babe. You put in the legwork, and you and Daryl are actually doing the physical work as well. All right, so what you have as a beginning is this information overview from Gemini, right? Then you're going to go into the letter. So let's just title this, actually. Letter.
Dear Tammy Larson.
What's that? Oh,
I was gonna say, Dear Tammy Larson, this is your letter.
and then finally you have your local NRCS. Local NRCS, which is the natural resources conservation service. All right. Boom. All right, my dear. So now do you feel like you have a better beginning towards starting to handle this situation that you want dealt with?
I'll let you know in the morning when I
Oh,
start.
you can't let me know now if you have a
Yes,
plan.
yes. I will. I got all
Mhm.
that cool information, and I will send you screenshots of my emails, and I'll contact them. And do my thing. But yes, thank you so much, Sabrina. I do appreciate that. It's cool to get other than my brain. Sometimes it helps to have other brains to
It absolutely
get
does.
us through this.
That's why we're doing it collectively, right? All right. So maybe we should put something in our talk to us space about member successes, right? That would be really nice to put in there. And that's a place where you could post that. All right. So everybody, great how-tos on community outreach. I think that really showcased for a lot of people what they could do to start looking in their own areas for resources when they have a problem, right? Let's jump into our CR calendar. And so our next class will be tomorrow, and that will be Gardens and More Q&A at 7:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 Mountain, 9:30 Central, and 10:30 Eastern. Hope to see you guys all there. Thank you so much for joining in. And please feel free to unmute and say good night, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon,
Good night, good evening, Candace, Benny, Vanessa. Good
I
night.
hope you all have a wonderful day.
See you guys later.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.